The Constitutional Court will today hand down judgment regarding the validity of Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane's suspension. You recall that in September last year, the Western Cape High Court ruled that President Cyril Ramaphosa's suspension of Mkhwebane was unlawful, and the President took the matter to the Apex Court. Newzroom Africa's Athi Mtongana following that story for us, and she joins us now. Athi, good morning to you. The suspended public protector complaining bitterly over the months that the Constitutional Court has taken a long time to ultimately bring out a verdict. Give us a sense of what the implications of this judgment are likely to be should the court rule in Mkhwebane's favor.
Well, let me begin here, Xoli, around two questions that many legal experts have been debating around, particularly when it comes to this matter. The first one being, is a judgment by a high court which involves the president, and in this case, that judgment by the Western Cape High Court, which found that President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to suspend the public protector was invalid, retaliatory, and they set it aside. So whether that judgment by the High Court, whether it needs confirmation by the Constitutional Court, that's the first question that the Apex Court needs to respond to, because there was a lot of debate at the beginning as to whether the judgment of the full bench of the Western Cape High Court, whether them handing down an adverse judgment against the president, whether that judgment would need confirmation by a higher court, which is the Constitutional Court. The second question then is Section 18 of the Superior Courts Act, which regulates the suspension order pending an appeal, is it applicable to a high court? Those are the two questions that need to be answered in the judgment that will be handed down by the Constitutional Court this morning at 10 o'clock. Now, you're quite right. The suspended public protector has been saying that justice delayed is justice denied, considering how long ago the Western Cape High Court, about 7 to 8 months ago, when the full bench handed down that judgment, which found that inevitably she needs to go back to office. But soon after that judgment was handed down, we know the Democratic Alliance filed an application to appeal that judgment at the Constitutional Court, which some say then suspended the judgment of the High Court. Then we know that the Speaker of the National Assembly and the President and the Chairperson of the Section 194 Committee, they all filed applications to appeal the judgment of the three justices from the Western Cape High Court, which some say obviously then suspended that judgment, meaning she couldn't go back to office as the order had granted by the Western Cape High Court. So the implications then would be whether she goes back to office. We know that her term is coming to an end soon in October, and Parliament has already embarked on a process to look for a new public protector. Remember, she's been in office for 7 years, a non-renewable term. Now, the implications would be, does she go back to office in the few months that are remaining, or does she remain suspended? So those are the kind of implications we'll be looking at once that judgment is handed down this morning.
Very thorough explanation there from our reporter, Athi Mtongana. Thank you very much for putting us in the picture.